Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us wherever you may be online. This is just a series of slides to introduce you to the environmental engineering program at the University of Waterloo. If you have questions, please contact us afterwards by all means. But this is about environmental engineering. So our goal, engineer a better, more resilient future. Um, so this is who I am. I'm the current director of environmental engineering, the program, and an associate professor in the Department of Civil and Environmental Engineering. So environmental engineering is just one of four programs within one department. My research is really related to water resource engineering. So I just threw in a few pictures here. The one is of an experimental channel we have where we model river processes and floodplains in the lab. So that's alfalfa growing on in our sandbox, and we can run floods through that. The second is a field site where we're looking at fish spawning habitat. And then the third is a picture of a tree, but the tree has a bunch of instruments attached to it to measure soil hydrology, sap flow. So we look at when the sap starts moving through the tree in the spring, and we can see it spiking, going up and down during the day. And then also how the tree is growing. So we're interested in carbon sequestration with that particular study. But I also teach, the courses related to hydrology and open channel flow and design of systems in cities like stormwater management systems or water distribution systems. The Department of Civil and Environmental Engineering, as I mentioned, has four programs. So ENVI, that's our short form for environmental, is down here on the left. So that includes things like hydrology, as I mentioned, river engineering, as I mentioned, other things like bioremediation or water and wastewater treatment. It also shares things with other programs within the department. So air quality, there's some overlap with architectural engineering, AE, because of the interest in, usually it's indoor air quality for AE versus outdoor air quality for environmental engineering, but still some overlap there. And then on the geological engineering side, there's an overlap with hydrogeology. So thinking about water moving through the soil. So sometimes you can get at that field from a few different directions. And then civil engineering, we broadly fall under the envelope of civil. We're designing society level structures and systems so that we fix problems kind of at a society level as opposed to, a widget level, something that you might buy off of a shelf. It's not really what we're doing. We're mostly building systems for cities, for large industrial projects, various things like that. All right, so overall, the focus of our department is really on sustainability, especially as we move into this future world where a lot of things are changing, right? So we'll talk a bit about that. So environmental engineers, they work at the interface between human systems and the broader natural world. So cities are a good example. A lot of things happen in cities, but humans are in there. We have to think about getting water to the humans. We have to think about removing waste. So those are kind of basic functions of environmental engineers. But we're also thinking about air quality. And then we're thinking about our impact of the city on the environmental systems around it. So maybe the lakes, right, in the Great Lakes where we are, the impact on Lake Erie, say, or the impact that we have on carbon emissions and what's happening with forest fires. And maybe the interface is forest fires now coming to influence air quality in the cities and in the communities that we live. So we have to think about those systems. And so we have a dual responsibility, both to protect the well-being of humans, but also to protect the natural world on which we depend. So many graduates discover careers in climate-related fields using their integrated understanding of the world as a chemical, biological, and physical system to adapt to a future unlike the past. So the key there is that we're looking at different aspects of a system, the chemical, biological, and physical aspects of these different systems. So we have spent some time in the last few years in what we call reimagining environmental engineering. So we recognize that there is an urgent need to respond to climate and biodiversity crises. So These photos are a couple years old now, but they haven't changed all that much. Smoke in New York City in 2023 shocked a lot of people. But I was camping recently in Algonquin, a lot of smoke in Algonquin. There's a biodiversity crisis happening. We need to react. This is 2022. I don't think we've reacted. We're still following kind of a business as usual approach. What can we do to change the trajectory? This was a flood in Libya related to an extreme event, surprised a lot of people, very damaging. Many people lost their lives. But we've had floods very recently in Texas and in Europe, similar impacts. Western and Northern Canada heat wave in 2023, but this summer we've been talking about the heat wave as well. The drought in the Loire River in 2022. This summer, the river through Stratford in Ontario is dry, and a lot of people are surprised. And then the green belt debate is related to development, right? How do we develop, but in a sustainable way? Environmental engineers can contribute a lot to that discussion. So what do we do? First of all, we design and build conventional environmental engineering systems. So I'm thinking about systems related to urban sanitation, flood risk, air pollution, waste management. There's a bunch of systems that have been developed. We now design those, we build them, we manage them, and we improve them. Environmental engineers do a lot of that work. We need new environmental systems to meet our new challenges. So how are we going to deal with microplastic pollution at a society level? How can we restore damaged rivers, wetlands, lakes? How can we limit emissions and sequester carbon to reduce CO2? All of these questions need environmental engineers to help. We need to improve our knowledge to prepare for tomorrow's unknown problems. So often we're involved with monitoring and modeling natural and engineered systems to identify problems, new problems, and start working on solutions before they become crises. And overall, as I mentioned before, we're trying to prepare now for a future that will be unlike the past. So if you're thinking about school at this time, your career is going to look very different from the people who graduated 20 years ago. So we need to adapt to this changing world. So we made some big changes, we think. There are some new courses in the early years that I'll mention. So these are designed to teach the fundamentals in a way that will accelerate your ability to contribute to the relevant fields of practice. So to get out there and get co-op jobs that are relevant for your future careers. We've been working on the design courses so that we want to introduce the relevant software and allow more chance to work on kind of open-ended real-world problems. We've also, at the same time, gone on a diet. So that means we reduced some of the core requirements. And the goal there is to give you more flexibility because we do have more options now available. And part of that is the fourth point there is the new and reimagined specializations. So those we thought of as very important to really give you a coherent picture of, from talking to you as you're thinking about school all the way through to what people do in their careers and possibly in research as well. So the design courses, there used to be really just the concepts and then a fourth year course. But the concepts course has been changed. You can see the drone in there. So we're using more modern survey techniques. There's more presentations involved. There's more work in groups. So this is a LiDAR point cloud from the scan of the drone. And you use that to build and render models of this spot where the task there is to design a new residence. In NV 200 hasn't run yet, but this is a new course called Sustainability Analysis and Solutions. So we'll be looking at different techniques for sustainability analysis. And then we think, we're still working on it, but the idea is to use the campus and the city of Waterloo as a living lab. So to think about, how much energy are we using? Where is it coming from? Is there better ways? This map here is really focused on stormwater because that's a course that I teach. So we have a weather station. We have some information on tree growth and soil moisture. We can monitor the pipes as well to understand how the flow is, how the runoff is responding to a precipitation event and where there might be flooding problems, where there might be water quality problems. And then NV 330 has been redesigned and now runs as a field-based lab course. So you're out there doing a lot of sampling. You go down to Five Oaks, part of the First Nations community down by Brantford. And you spend some time out on the river and doing measurements. But you're also thinking about designing monitoring programs and thinking about responding to events that might happen, like an oil spill or some sort of triggering event that leads to a monitoring protocol. Just to give you an outline of the course, this is of the program. This is kind of a picture of your first year. There's a lot of foundational principles, a lot of math, a lot of science. Some of those names will be familiar to you. Calculus, right? You've taken it in high school. You'll take a more advanced version in university. There's a couple calculus courses. They'll do some communications courses. You'll be thinking about environmental engineering concepts and chemistry. You'll be thinking about biology. You'll be thinking about electrical circuits and instrumentation, and then some mechanics as well, some physics. So you'll be building your foundational skills. And then as you go on, you have the opportunity to link with some of these specializations or pathways out of the program to careers that might be of interest to you. So this is water resources, near and dear to my heart, hydrologic and hydraulic analysis, water treatment, floods and droughts. We have a second one called energy and climate change. So there we're thinking about atmospheric processes and air pollution, climate change mitigation and adaptation, and then our built environment and energy systems. The third one is sustainable cities. So life cycle analysis is a key technique, thinking about sustainable design. Again, climate adaptation and resilience, and linking maybe with policy. So there's a bit of a planning link with sustainable cities. Pollution and restoration remains important, right? We know that the pollution control is key, and development of new technologies is very important. Managing the solid waste, the liquid waste, these are key functions for environmental engineers. And there's many new problems all the time that need to be resolved. And then the last one is more of a general specialization, but it's about modeling and data analytics. So there's a huge need for environmental engineers that are comfortable with programming, with working with big data, machine learning, all those types of tools that are so important now and really revolutionizing many, many different fields. So this connects you to that. Waterloo, of course, has a massive it's really a massive resource. The skills of different faculty members and people to teach some of this material, which they're researching, and really they're part of the active development of these fields. So we're connecting you with some of those instructors so that you can connect better with this field that's rapidly developing. Advanced topics, these are just some different types of courses. So I mentioned design of urban water systems, that's the one I teach, but economics and life cycle analysis, contaminant transport, building energy analysis, transit planning and operation, lab analysis, and field sampling. These are all available to you. And you have more opportunity now to customize your degree. So I talked about the specializations. These are the 5 names here that you can see that we talked about. There are additional options. So it's not always clear what we mean with these terms, but options essentially means things that you can do while you're at university, but it's not necessarily easy to do within the electives that you have available. So options might require a bit more effort. It might require an extra term or doubling up, or not doubling, but adding additional courses during your term so that you can take, for example, an option in management sciences. So you wanted to get into more of a business direction. You could think about entrepreneurship, right? There's software and AI. So again, similar to the modeling and data analytics, this gives you another way to access some of those things that are available on campus, computing, computer engineering, that type of thing. You can't do the environmental engineering option because it's your core program. The specializations are meant to be part of the program, so you can easily get at least one, likely two of those specializations as you go through your degree. So what makes us different? We are #1 in Canada for environmental engineering and science. So this is a recent world ranking. This is an area of strength for Waterloo. Our program is smaller class sizes than what's taught for civils. We have had a couple bigger classes recently as this new program is coming online. So 30 is probably too low, but 80 is a likely target. We are a field of engineering where you're really integrating knowledge from different fields. So if you think of yourself as kind of a science type of engineer, an engineer that really likes to understand natural sciences, this could be a good area for you. We're thinking about chemistry, biology, earth science, and physics, and trying to fit those all together into engineering systems. And we've added a lot more flexibility in your upper year course selection, so there's more choice. I encourage as well everybody to get involved while they're here. It's not just about courses. These are programs that typically are student-run, student-driven, but have been very successful at Waterloo. So Engineers Without Borders really started in Waterloo. So that connects you with engineering and sustainability issues around the world. Women in Engineering, a grad student of mine, is very active in that group, and they do a lot of different types of projects. Midnight Sun is a solar car project that is running continuously, so that's a design team. So you should visit Waterloo. There's a design hub, the Adol Sedreb Design Center, I think it's called. But they have a bunch of bays in there with all these different design teams that are working on things that usually their goal is to go to a competition at some point during the year. So some sort of student competition. That's a solar car. Concrete canoe is another fun one that has a lot of civil and environmental engineers where they go and actually paddle their canoe in the end to try to win a canoe race. There's also things like the Waterloo Climate Institute, and they have various sustainability student groups and projects that they're working on. There's the CWRA, Student Design Competition. So anyways, there's lots to do. Greenhouse is a residence, so that one's kind of interesting. It's focused on sustainability, entrepreneurship type angle. But it's a residence where you'd live with people from different programs and think about these things. So anyway, these are a great chance to meet people, have fun, and do really interesting projects. Co-op is a huge part of all of engineering at Waterloo. ENVI program is no exception. 96% of our co-op grads find jobs related to skills that they acquired at Waterloo. That means they're working within the field. We going through the co-op really builds the CV. So when you graduate, you look different than students from other universities who maybe haven't had that much practice, really, right? So you get 6 co-op terms, up to 6. And these are just some sample co-op job names. So you can get a range of experience working in consulting firms for government, maybe do a research term. You can try things out and you get paid while you're doing it. So this is, important source of funding to kind of balance the cost of the degree. This is how this sequence works. So F25 is the fall 25, and we call that 1A. We have to have this 1A, 1B because it gets messed up. It's actually 5 years with the co-op. And in year 5, you're doing 4A and 4B, strangely enough. But these are the 7th and 8th school terms that you have. So 1A is your first term. You'll immediately be looking for jobs. So co-op 1 is in the winter. You go out and you earn money in the winter of 26, and then you're back for the spring term or the spring summer term. 26. So it goes on and off like that all the way through until year 5, where you have to complete the degree 2 school terms in a row. After graduation, there's many possibilities, and it's been very rewarding for me to see, as I've been here now, Waterloo 16 years, to see people go off and graduate first, but then advance their careers and move into different positions, positions of responsibility in different fields. So some of the more obvious ones are environmental engineer, where you work for a consultant, a water resource engineer, air quality, wastewater, other types of consulting. Some new type jobs that people are getting are things like sustainability manager, or GHG, greenhouse gas quantification specialist. These are skills that are needed, but not many people have the expertise yet. So new grads have a leg up there. Energy transition lead. What does that even mean, right? But it means we're kind of transitioning away from traditional fuel sources to looking at alternative energies. And there's many different possibilities. So there's no restrictions really. An engineer degree gives you the fundamentals and some skills that can take you in a number of different directions. So these are just a few photos from different workplaces. The top left is a favorite of mine. This was just opened very recently, so this photo is a bit dated, but this is the park in downtown Toronto around the mouth of the Don River. So they spent many years fixing the soil, really poor water and soil quality in that area, and then recreating the natural-ish type of water mouth or river mouth for the river as it enters the harbor of Toronto. That's a great project, though. Okay, so if there's any further questions, obviously you can't ask me now, but please do reach out. You can use this email. You can also reach out to me as the Director of Environmental Engineering. I'm happy to take any questions you might have.